Hello and welcome to your reading. My name's Rowan. I'll be getting some messages from Spirit for you today. Thank you so much to my returning subscribers. I really appreciate you guys. And I always enjoy reading your comments and seeing what you think of the readings. And to those of you who are new, I hope you stay. I read for members of the collective who are going through tough times and who are here to help the animals, plants, and other people and make a difference in the world. Now let's see what comes up today. I'm seeing like a family room and conversations on the phone. Spirit is saying there's been some conversations held about you that you might need to ground yourself from. You might be finding out about some of these things. You might have already gotten some of these messages through the dream state. A lot of you are very tapped into, especially the women in your family, tapped in with the great web here. Some of you are guided by spider medicine and have spider guardians looking out for you. I'm also seeing praying mantis. Praying mantis might be very powerful for this group as well, which is really interesting because I am seeing like, wow, yeah, confirmation. With poison ivy here, there's a lot of kind of toxic, especially feminine energies looking in on this collective right now. And that you've had to use caution around your whole life. And I am getting that the praying mantis is showing up here as a very powerful feminine energy that protects you. You're also guided and protected by the bear spirit. I'm going to put the bear over here. All right. Yeah, the bear spirit is letting you know that you are indifferent to a lot of this energy and, for the most part, spiritually untouchable. However, whatever has been said recently or that you are about to find out about or recently found out about might be tough for you, okay? You are the one in your family that stands out. Black sheep energy for sure. We also have that you are somebody here who has done a lot of spiritual labor for your family. They might not see this as a valuable thing, but I feel like you kept things running for a long time and it created a scapegoat type of situation for you. There's a turtle on its back here, which is telling me that you might have felt really stuck in regards to the family energies that were around you for a long time. This has been something that's been coming up in my collective for some time here. Just this idea of karmic family members that are unwilling or unable to do their healing. And it's left you in a lurch, for sure. You might have felt unable to let go of some of these energies, even though they weren't considering you. This has messed with your abundance, your sense of being able to ground yourself and root into the earth, as well as into just what matters to you. You might have had really flexible ideas about what dreams were possible for you. With dimension distortion here, this is telling me that this has messed with your timelines quite a bit. You would have had a lot different opportunities had you been raised with or given certain opportunities that other people were afforded, that your family either swooped in and messed up for you, or that I'm seeing their speech messing this up, and I'm also seeing I'm going to show you this card if you guys can see it. So there's actually a bed here. And I was just talking about the dream state as well, like being made aware of these things in the dream state. This skeleton here is telling me that ancestors are coming in to cut through some of these negative ideas or negative thoughts that have been implanted in you. That's what the sword is representing here. Your ancestral spirits are coming through to say that they're going to be your shield through all of this, and a lot of them already have been your shield. These are ancestors far back in your lineage that you don't know personally. I'm seeing alcoholism is incredibly relevant for this group's family. There's been a lot of addiction, but I'm seeing especially heavy drinking, alcohol, functional alcoholic type energy here. And this kind of guiding or putting the guardrails, I guess, on what conversations were actually possible with family members that really mattered to you. I'm seeing a school desk here, like an old-time school desk. What's up with the desk here? There were things that happened to you around school age, Spirit's saying, that made you feel like, I'm hearing feel like you were stuck for one thing. But it also made you feel like you were just a part of a larger thing, like a cog in the machine type of energy. We also have soldier coming up here, like the idea of having to fight for these family values that weren't based in reality or logic. This is really like a false reality that this family kind of put you in. Like you were plugged in and it's like, do your job. And if you were coming out of line, it's like they would unplug you, so they would either ignore you or completely shut you off from different things that you were either meant to do or meant something to you. And then it's like once you were kind of broken from that experience, they'd plug you back in. Hey, do your job again. Like, show up. There's this real idea of just being forced into a role, for sure, here. And being unwilling to continue this battle in your teen years. And it causing a lot of issues for you guys. We have dark energy coming up here. It can't be any more straightforward than that, my god. And then, let's see, this is a sword with like a fire dragon around it. Which to me is talking about, the swords in the tarot are about your thoughts. It's about air energy. Again, this is like cutting through falsehoods of things that people speak around you. There's actually a lot of powerful energies in your family that are using like word magic. This is like the cursing power of gossip, okay? And with this fire dragon, that's you. You are very plugged into the energy of the fire element and especially the dragons. And I feel like once this first round of demeaning gossip spread about you and was meant to like kind of level the playing field, turn a lot of people against you. This is narcissistic type energy, to just kind of destroy your character to other people. At some point in your teens, I feel like this dragon awoke in you and you were just like, hell no. And you just started burning down everything around you in terms of like how you related to this family and how you related to this gossip. I'm getting this energy for a lot of you of being like, sure, I'll be that. I'll be the worst, and going through like a dark period of your teen years and like early adult life where you were just like, screw it. Like we can go feral, feral imp here. Just really playing into this like dark energy. For some of you, we have the succubus knight coming up here. So you might have gone that direction with things and like kind of explored your sexuality in a dark way for some of you here. And with the crimson sentry, you might have just been really guarded. If you didn't, whether or not you went that direction, it doesn't matter. This is really the energy of like taking out any chance of a relationship getting too close to your heart. There was a certain point, however, where you were finally like over it and moved through this type of energy. There's something about Pluto placements or Scorpio in your chart for those of you that are into astrology, okay? Really coming out of this role of like being almost like the face of your family in a way. And then Spirit is also showing me like the face and the heel from wrestling, and there's this idea of like playing both roles for you, where you were like, screw it, sure, I'll be the heel today, like we can do that. And just I feel like you've explored many different roles in terms of your family because this has been so toxic, and because you're like just totally trying to throw out this foundational energy. Now, the reason Spirit is saying that it's been so difficult to throw out this foundational energy is because fundamentally they are saying that at a very young age, part of your spirit, so to speak, was literally corded or plugged into the family lineage. And a lot of you have not known how to do this, how to like break this plug, because it's different than the normal connection that people have to their lineage. There's an opt-in and opt-out that you can have with family lineage type karmic situations, okay? And you are at a point now where, as a light worker, you have the option to unplug from the nastiness of this. Like, this was not supposed to be put on you in the way that it was. You were not meant to play this role that your family put you in. And I feel like they've tried many roles to try to keep you plugged in, because they were really like, oh my goodness. It's like they were trying to resist other people seeing them in a bad light. This united resistance here. But you were like somebody that could be on the front lines, and people would respond to you in a very specific way. And your family felt like, okay, if we can manipulate how people perceive you, you can be the resistance. You can make us look like we're doing X, Y, or Z. You can make us look good, right? And look like we're doing what we're supposed to do. They even thought, some of them that understand spirituality, they thought that you could help them jump timelines in a way. They manifested specifically off of your emotional energy, okay? And what I mean by that is a lot of you might have even been diagnosed at a young age with really intense psychiatric disorders. And I'm not a doctor. This is all for entertainment purposes only. But if you know, you know. All right, so some of you were diagnosed with some real intense stuff, and it's not necessarily true. Okay, take what resonates, obviously, with this. But, you know, if you were, like, diagnosed with this stuff and then all of a sudden it went away and you never had any issues with it again, and you didn't necessarily, like, take care of anything, there is definitely a reason. I'm also getting that you guys were in your own little world and had an extremely strong imagination, well through early adulthood. And I'm hearing that at some point your creativity became lucrative. Like, there was a certain point where maybe you were using your creativity to make money or had that potential, and something happened to derail you. This was because of an increased energy harvest. Everything with this group is about money and glamour magic. There's a lot of stuff coming on here. Yeah, this is about, like, stealing your light. This light energy, or this bright blue clearing energy, is being used as an offering. Okay, we have ultimate offering coming up here. A lot of the family spirits, yeah, I have spirit messages here. The family spirits associated with your lineage, I'm hearing they're hungry, and people were, like, feeding them almost. And the reason they were doing this was literally to prevent some of the negative karma from falling on them. Your family has, I'm hearing, committed a lot of crimes over the years, you know, throughout generations. And I feel like at some point this became almost like a curse, like this very heavy, burdensome energy. And there are people in your family who are aware of how to do energy work, and we're almost like calling on other entities to take from you and the other light workers in your family. For some of you, you're the only one. For some of you, it's multiples. Like, I'm seeing cousins for some of you. Take it as it resonates. But whatever it is, it's to prevent this from burden from falling on certain people. I apologize. I'm kind of, like, stumbling over my words right now. Yeah, I'm seeing 10 of Wands, which is, like, all about burdens, and I'm hearing financial. This is a lot about, like, furthering themselves financially for some of these people. And recently, Spirit is saying there has been an earthquake that's unsettled everything. This is from you beginning to take back your energy in a different way than you've ever been able to. This is your spirit team saying enough's enough. I'm seeing paperwork right now. You might want to look at some of my previous readings if you know that there's been a lot of, like, paperwork, or I'm hearing deeds, things being changed with that, or I'm hearing thrown around in your family. So there might be, like, a change of ownership happening for certain people here. For some of you, we have someone doing graveyard magic, calling on these I'm hearing old ass ancestors that were into some nasty stuff to assist them. For some of you, you need to be very cautious about which ancestors you allow to have rights in your energy, who you call into your workings. And the reason for this is because some of your ancestors were not on the same page as you are. Some of them were absolutely not light workers, or into some nasty and dark shit. And whenever you call them in, they're undermining some of your workings. That's obviously not for everybody. So take that if you feel like your spell work has been ineffective. You know, work with your light team if that is the case. Especially for those of you who are having trouble with housekeeping. So this is stuff with executive function. This is being able to cook and clean for yourself, being able to keep your house in order, being able to get through the day and your chores and all that kind of stuff. Keeping your finances in order. You know, if you're like a heavy spender and can't seem to control yourself, or if you're somebody that's like, conversely, like not spending anything and you're just really struggling, really look into this. Look into who you are allowing into your workings. And if you had been allowing ancestors, you may want to change this. You might want to go to your light team that's of the highest resonance. So this is like any kind of light beings, from angels to galactics to animal spirits, you know, spirits of nature that are really helpful. Just the divine itself, if you don't work with secondary spirits, whatever you want to call it. Go to them and kind of file a complaint. I'm hearing that's so funny. They really want you to look at this stuff as something that is changing, not asking yourself, I don't know if this can be changed. They're saying it will be changed. It's just, is it going to be for the better? Keep it, you know, on the same trajectory. There's a lot of angels that want to come through and teach you new things with the Witch's Apprentice here. For some of you, the color red might be part of that angel's resonance, like red and orange lights. I'm seeing like orbs catching this out of the corner of your eye. And this is because these energies are helping to balance the sacral energies, which is your point of creativity, which I was just saying they were harvesting from, and your root chakra, which is all about like your stability, your material wealth, all that kind of stuff, your housing, what keeps you grounded. This is going to completely shift you into a new timeline if you call on these angelics to help you, because a lot of the really basic stuff in your life, like your sleep, your basic day-to-day stuff, sleeping, eating, going to work, your daily routine, cleaning, keeping your space nice, all that stuff has been out of whack for a while for a lot of you. And this is not me coming for you, because I completely understand this, and it's really tough when you're going through stuff. A lot of you have been in turmoil because of the things people have done to you, and you've gone through a lot of trauma. So be kind to yourself and just know that Spirit is helping to write this one thing at a time, I'm hearing. And they're saying, keep a calendar. It can just be on your phone, you know, whatever it is. Keep a calendar of just doing one thing a day to help yourself. Like, one chore a day, if that's all you can do. Eating one good thing a day. If you're, you know, if you've been struggling with eating right, maybe just do one healthy meal or add one healthy thing to what you're eating. Start small. There's been a lot of energy of being frozen, being stuck. Some of you might be doom scrollers, where you kind of get stuck, like, staring at things on your phone, or eternal rest, like literally laying in bed and just thinking about what you need to do but being completely unable to make yourself do it. And it's because there's these invader spirits that have been messing with a lot of you here. For some of you, this is related to jinn. Only take that if it resonates for you. What I'm getting out of this, though, is it's talking about the jinn being at the beck and call of its master. So this is like a monitor spirit that's really like at somebody else's control, okay? So it's really important that you go ahead and clear your space spiritually as well. You may want to play mantras if you work with deities that are connected to that. Like, I'm seeing Durga, I'm seeing Shiva, I'm seeing Ma Kali, Hanuman, Lakshmi, you know, whoever it is that you connect with. You may want to play one of their mantras to clear your home. You may want to use bells to clear your home. There's a lot of like sound healing that would be really beneficial for this group, because I feel like smoke isn't doing it. Smoke, I'm hearing, is not the way to clear the things that you're dealing with at your home, okay? Oh my god. With this card here, with the Emperor's Holiday, I'm getting that some of these beings are powerful, and whenever the smoke comes in, they're like, oh, like just lighting some incense, that's nice. Like they think of it as like they're on holiday from the nasty place they come from. So whenever you do these these very like high vibrational sounds, they're like, ooh, I don't like that, and they'll leave. You know, this is the energy of like the angsty kid and the cheerleader. Like whenever the cheerleader shows up and is trying to like pump everybody up, the angsty kid's like, ooh, I can't deal with that, get away from me. And it's the same thing with these negative energies, right? All right, we have, there is somebody here, they're saying, that either calls you or has some kind of like verbal connection with you. Could be somebody that you know through work as well for someone here. And the way they speak to you brings you down. Spirit is saying be aware of this, and you may want to use crystals to try to protect your energy a little bit, especially if you're really worn down, which I feel this group is. You may want to look into some really basic magical practices. Go back to basics, I'm hearing, because I feel like this group, you know stuff. Like you're not exactly new to all of this. Go back to your basic protection. You know, look at setting boundaries, setting wards, programming crystals, using oils to anoint yourself, you know, whatever it is for you. Water magic, all those different things, spiritual baths, all the really basic stuff. They're saying keep it simple. Some of you are getting really, really convoluted with your shit, and Spirit's like, you don't need to do all that. You know, your psychic abilities are enough, and just looking at something, turning your attention to something is magical, okay? Like, really, really go back to your basics. Some of you don't need tools anymore. Tools are training wheels. There's nothing wrong with using them, but be aware of what they are, right? You know, evil eye exists because people know the power of an intentional stare. Same thing with you guys. Work on that. What are you directing your energy towards? For some of you, the energy that has been in your home, making your home a dark hole, is like a graveyard magic kind of summoned being, like something dead. All right, and that's why your space has been feeling like shit. All right, so for some of you, there might even be like a type of demonic presence in your house, and it's there to suppress things in your life. I'm going to get a little bit more information about how to clear that, but really go back to basics is the main thing here. I'm seeing Archangel Gabriel for some of you. Hanael. Ariel. Mosael? I don't know, I haven't heard of that one, but some angels don't have their names recorded, so just go with whatever it is for you, okay? Tell me about this darker energy in this home, Spirit. Tell me about this energy. Alright, we have three animal related negative presences here. 4. Oh my gosh, there was one underneath. Okay, one is connected to bugs and like pestilence type energies. So what we have here is like monitor spirits through infestation. So you might have had like a bug infestation, mice infestation, moths, flies, whatever it is for you. Just know that these are someone connected to family energy that has been trying to watch what you're doing or just get the temperature of your energy. For those of you that resonates for, speak out loud. There's a lot here about using your basic skills to clear your space, using your body appropriately to direct your energy. Speak that they are not allowed to watch you and that they are cleared from whatever beings are around and that they must leave your home, and then do the physical things to clear your home. I'm hearing unless you make this statement out loud, you're going to really struggle to actually end whatever your infestation is, even if it's really minor, like a couple ants in your bathroom or something, okay? We also have some birds coming up here. This is talking about somebody who uses or like works with animals to get answers about things, which most of my collective does, okay? And I'm also hearing this has something to do with water magic, okay? So that means that you can use water magic to clear it. Again, use your voice to clear the animals. So there are some spiritualists that use animals in a very negative way, where you might see a bird show up at your house and you're like, there's something wrong with it, or it doesn't feel right, it feels like it's watching too much. If you sense that, and this isn't for everybody, obviously, but if you sense it, you have the power to clear those animals because you are a light worker, especially if you do Reiki, but everybody can do a form of Reiki or energy clearing, right? Direct a positive, loving energy to clear that being. You can, if you don't work with energy directly in that way, pray for it, okay? And that will clear the negative presence from it, because some of these people in your family know how connected to animals you are, and they are trying to interfere with this and bring doubt to you, especially if you are an animal professional in any way, and this is a very, very strong presence in your life that brings you meaning and that helps people. Oh, there's a lot here about water magic. There was another hidden card here that I didn't see, so we'll get to that in a moment. But whatever it is about birds, because this group is extremely connected to birds, but if you see something negative about the birds or get like a negative vibe from them that feels unnatural, this is what Spirit is saying to clear, because this is another form of almost like energetic or spiritual pollution that people have done. There's a lot of like baneful spell workers and just very low vibrational spiritualists that manifest and energy harvest and just almost like pilot animals in a way. They can usually only do this with smaller animals. There's some that can do it with larger animals, but it's almost like a nasty form of suppression of the animal spirit. It's a form of energetic slavery, and you have the ability to clear them of it. So just, you can even make it so that when you ward your space becomes a safe place that clears the animals naturally, all right? You can ward as much of your area as you need to for this kind of thing, so keep that in mind, guys. What we have here is like four-legged animals here. These are animals of the ground. Let's see. Speaks of, destroys and burns all enemies when requested. Speaks of the creation of the world. Okay, these are like little animals, so I feel like just to kind of clear up whatever's going on with this, I do feel like there's a spiritualist that is trying to use animals generally in your area. Same thing goes for all animals, not just birds. Insects, even trees and plants that you feel like are afflicted, you can clear all that stuff. This is actually a really big part of some of the spiritual work I've been guided to teach people how to do and help with, is clearing that kind of negative spiritual pollution from the earth, because it is, like, on the astral realm, a very disgusting way that humans have affected the planet. And it's something that we need to clear, and that will also, that's like the opposite end of the spectrum from clearing, picking up garbage and doing the regular clearing of pollution. Now here we also have a snake-like or like water serpent-like energy. These are related to dreams. Some of you might have dreamed about water serpents, ocean, snakes that were messed up in some way. And this is to try to like keep you from seeing things that are going to happen, because this is a form of protection for this group. If that is the case for you, then pray over yourself before bedtime. Spiritual baths, Herkimer diamond, I'm a big fan of. Clearing yourself with selenite as well is a good way to bless yourself, but prayer is a big one here. Really bless your space. You can also make use of sound clearing like we were talking about. Okay, guys? Now this one kind of fell out here. This is talking about bringing souls back from the dead to answer questions. This is literally just talking about what I was saying. This is clarifying that like graveyard magic that I was talking about before that has been affecting you guys. And this is somebody in your family doing this stuff. It might even be somebody that you don't realize does this kind of shit. And I feel like I'm hearing folk magic. So they might hide it behind like some sort of pseudo-Christian belief, or like, it doesn't have to be Christian, but it's hidden behind a more traditional, acceptable belief system, and they play within that. This is something that's been handed down from, I'm seeing like a grandma type figure. This has been handed down through your family, because there's a lot of people that have been like roped into this type of nasty energy throughout your family lineage. It has been an ancestral practice for certain people in your family, men and women, to avoid the curse or like the spiritual karma of the family by doing this, by manifesting off the weaker people in the family. There might have even been a really strong emphasis on strength of character, and appearing like not appearing fragile, or being very like concrete in very traditional belief systems or structures or something like this, whenever you were growing up. And this is because of that. Anyone who didn't fit the mold, and especially those of us who don't fit the mold, just naturally or intentionally, was fair game. Fair game for these spirits, fair game for these people within your family that are honestly being like almost piloted or coached by these spirits as well. And when I say piloted, I don't mean possession in the traditional sense. I don't really see it working that way. There's always a consent, okay? Every time somebody chooses to do something nasty, there has to be consent if there's a negative spirit near them. You know, this spirit might make a suggestion, but everybody can say no. And these people chose not to, right? Now, in terms of these folks that are using like this necromancy, or like bringing souls back from the dead type of crap energy, whatever, the reason they're doing this is to bring towers to you and to potentially other cousins or whoever, like whatever light workers may or may not be in your family. They try to manifest off of stolen wisdom, okay? And some of these ancestors literally don't know what they're talking about. But this might, for you, since you are so tapped in, this might be resonating for you as like hearing a murmur, or like because it's called murmur, you know, but there's like a sound, a spiritual sound presence in the home for some of you. Like you might hear like a weird whisper, or like sounds that you can't make sense of. And you might have attributed this to places being haunted that you've lived, but I feel like for some of you, this is actually from this energy cord that your family has attached to you at a young age, which you are in the process of clearing, and spirit is clearing this for you. I'm really seeing like a divine feminine type of energy, like a goddess form, or like an angel. It's, yeah, there's something about like a goddess form or like an angel that's dissolving this for you. But whenever this link has been attached to you, that gives you full access to them as well. People, you know, people doing this stuff don't realize, they don't know, because they don't have the power that you have as a natural light worker, okay? They never developed that end of it. Spirit gives a lot of extra gifts to those of us who are willing to stay on the right side of morality. Everyone has the potential, but unless you choose properly, spirit cuts you off at a certain point. It's like, you don't get these gifts anymore. They're not going to work the right way. So that's why they steal off of others. So they try to like manifest off of your abilities to know what's coming, which you get directly from spirit. They get it like secondhand, and it's usually kind of wrong. But yeah, especially if you hear these like negative sounds or whatever in your house, sounds, it might even be like when you're on the phone, other people are like, is somebody in the room with you? And there's nobody there. It's that type of thing. It could even be sounds, or like music for some of you. This is from that. These are like these listening spirits, okay? Now, as far as like the main cord itself that needs to be dissolved, pray for this each night. I'm really feeling the presence of the divine itself here. Like the, whatever you want to call it, a great spirit, the full divinity, right? Really work with that energy of unconditional love, and direct that love to yourself. I feel like this group has been you still have love for some of these people who've been messing you over this whole time, and I don't blame you. I mean, you're just a loving person. You're like, I know you're a little freak, but I still love you from a distance, right? Like, you have this energy to you, and you're being protected in spirit by, like, a lot of really beautiful and intense energies, okay? And I feel like it's time they're saying that you bring this healing energy to yourself that you would usually use to pray for these people, because you deserve that. You deserve to be fully loved by yourself and not, spending all of your time and energy praying for people that are messing you up. Spirit takes care of those people in their own way. And that's only for those of you who still feel that way about these people. Some of you just have such gentle energy that you're like, I can't bring myself to hate them. And some of you are like, fuck them people. And both are fine. These are just different stages of healing. You are fully protected, though. Like, all of the spiritual abilities that you have are fully protected. Nothing is going to take those from you anymore, because some of you felt like things were dissolving away from you last year, and this was a part of your healing, I'm hearing. Yeah, this was spirit setting things back to normal. But as you can see, there's like a bunch of crazy things happening, and this looks like they're melting. I don't know what's going on. That's how it felt last year. I feel like last year everything got really fucked up for this group, and things are finally like evening out. Yeah, you're being defended. What else, please, Spirit? One more. You are a magician of faith. Everything that you do spiritually is through faith in the divine, and you are being recognized for that. You are being protected for that, and this energy cord that has connected you to a very dark lineage is being removed from you, so that you can use this inner magic that you have and this really strong sense of faith to inspire and assist others. That's what I have for you guys. If you would like a really specific reading, like a lot more specific than this where I'm reading for lots of people, you can get a personal reading with me through my website at elderbeingsintuition.com. That's the only way I'll book with you, because I have imposter and scammer accounts, so don't fall for those. So take a look at that if you are interested in that. I also do animal communication readings, so we get into like past lives with your pet, spiritual connections with your pet, and physical things as well that you may need help with, figuring out what they like and dislike, things like this. All of these readings are done remotely, and I send them as a recorded audio file through email. If you have questions about it, feel free to shoot me an email. My email is below in the info section. So that's what I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it the whole way through, you can leave a little deer emoji for me, or you can let me know how this landed for you. I always love hearing how these readings work for people and what actually comes up for you. I try to respond to every comment. So thank you guys as always, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if this resonated for you. Okay, I will see you in the next one. Bye!